Hey guys, this is Nick from cryptosfornoobs.com with the weekly crypto analysis. Today is Tuesday the 17th of April 2018 and the time is 16:24 here in the UK. It's actually my birthday today, so I'm turning 32, getting a bit old. But anyway, let's get into the crypto analysis. In this analysis, we're going to be looking at BTC USD, Ether USD, LTC USD, and Ripple USD. Ripple is the XRP USD here. And we're going to be looking for price action setups, mostly on the daily chart. We're going to be looking at where these pairs are headed in the coming week and possibly what might happen. We're going to be looking for any potential trades also. So right off the bat, BTC USD seems like it's on the rise. It had just a day last week where it just shot up and it hasn't fallen back down, surprisingly. So it looks like this downtrend might be starting to end, but I don't want to go out there and say that it's ended yet because it really hasn't. If you throw up just a simple trend line. Okay, let's try and actually get this trend line done properly. I'm not a big trend line guy. I don't really use trend lines that much in my trading. I know that technically speaking, when you put up a trend line, it shouldn't cut through candles, blah, blah, blah. I'm just looking at the slope of this trend line. I'm not too bothered with whether it's a perfect trend line because I'm not taking trades from it. So trend lines to me have always just been a kind of way to visualize what the trend is doing. So yeah, I'm cutting through the candles up here and a lot of people say you shouldn't. A lot of people don't care. Doesn't matter. We're just looking at the slope of this trend line. Trend line sloping down pretty heavily. We don't really need a trend line to tell us that BTC is headed down, but we can see that this recovery hasn't even really started yet, but it might be starting because it looks pretty decent right now. I mean, it has pushed back up last week and it's trying to sink back below this, what has now become a support area because it broke through resistance, this 7,800-ish up to around 8,000. So this was a resistance area. It smashed through that resistance area. Let's zoom in a little bit. We're a bit zoomed out. Smashed through that resistance area right here. And now it's just trying to get back below it the last few days, but it just hasn't really managed. So it's looking pretty good. It looks like we might actually be seeing somewhat of a recovery, but I'm not going to be that convinced until we get about above this 9,200 resistance area. So this resistance area here, the 9,200, when price breaks above that, or if price breaks above that, I should say, that's when I'll be thinking, you know what, maybe BTC USD is on its way up. Until then, I'm not that convinced. So basically what I want to see in this coming week is, first of all, a break of this mediocre trend line that I've drawn. Once it breaks that trend line, I want to see it break above this resistance area. When it gets above that resistance area, then I think we have a good chance to get in for a long trade and ride this trend up to at least 11,500. That would be pretty awesome. So that's what I'm looking for on the upside for BTC USD. On the downside, looking for, if it stalls and just floats along this this support area here, the 7,800 to 8,000, if it stalls and just moves along there, then that would be a sign that buyers really can't gain control of price, and I would be expecting later in the week for it to dip back below this area and continue its overall downtrend. Out of which scenarios are most likely? Probably the continuation of the downtrend because it is trending pretty heavily down. But things are starting to equalize between buyers and sellers, and we might actually be seeing a turnaround on BTC USD, which would be pretty interesting because a lot of people were predicting lately that it's going to drop to 5,000 or below. So the 6,800 level down here last week, it held pretty well. Well, not only last week, over the last 2 weeks. It held pretty well. It didn't really get through there. And it held well before that too. So it seems to really struggle when it gets to around that 6,800 to move down further. So we could actually be seeing a bottom and we could be seeing a turnaround. So what I'm looking for is a continuation up. That would be a great setup to trade. If it starts pushing up and gets above the 9,200, I will be looking for long trades. I will be looking for a continuation up. Now, for the other pairs, they're pretty much these days, they're very, very well correlated, especially Ether USD. It pretty much shadows BTC USD, does exactly what BTC USD does. There's very little difference. I mean, when you switch between the two charts, you do see a bit of a difference. So for example, if you focus on this area of the chart where BTC USD recovered a bit, and then you go over to Ether, you can see it looks a bit different. But when I say it looks, actually, I think I can overlay them for you. Oh, let me do that. I don't do it much, so I can't remember exactly how to do it. Compare, I think. And then we could throw up BTC USD. Just take the bit for next one. Whenever you do this, it adds it as a bar chart. It's so weird. Candles. There we go. And then you have to kind of get them roughly the same size. So you could see that they very much do follow each other, especially lately. From around here onwards, which is around March onwards, they've just been shadowing each other almost perfectly. Look at that. They're just like completely the same. So the correlation is very strong at the moment between BTC USD and Ether USD. So the analysis is pretty much the same. I'm looking for the same things with Ether. I'm just looking for continuation up. That would be the ideal setup. Once it gets back up above the 560-ish level, 570, I'll be looking to possibly take a long trade there. LTC USD. LTC is also correlated. You know what? Let's kill this trend line, but let's also throw up the comparison thingy here. And let's change it to candles. See, these ones are pretty well correlated too. Arguably, this is actually even more correlated than Ether USD. So again, I'm not expecting too much difference from BTC USD. So what the analysis for BTC USD, pretty much the same for LTC USD. I'm looking for price to push up. I'm actually going to throw up a support resistance area here. We don't have many support resistance areas for LTC USD because we don't have much data. But I think I'm going to throw one up around here based on these bounces back here in Feb, followed by this one here. See, now it looks like it's breaking through resistance. So very similar to BTC USD. If it starts to get above these resistance areas, be looking for a long continuation here. But I'm not going to spread my trades between all these pairs. Probably just going to go on BTC USD. Just take a single trade on BTC USD as opposed to splitting them over BTC, Ether, and LTC. That's just my risk management style. You don't have to copy it. You can split between the three positions if you want to, or the three pairs rather. Finally, Ripple. Now Ripple, I mean, again, let's throw up this compare thing. I'll show you what it looks like. You can see lately that all the cryptos have kind of started to align themselves and do the same things as the others. Ripple has kind of generally been a bit different, a bit of an outlier, but even this one, really, the last few weeks has just started to shadow BTC USD exactly. So the analysis is not too different on Ripple. Gonna be looking for the same thing I'm looking on the other pairs. Primarily, I want to see a breakout upwards so I can get into a long continuation and ride what could potentially be a new uptrend. But there's always potential that it's just going to stall out and continue down. When you're in a downtrend, more likely than not, the downtrend is going to continue. The main reason why I think there's a potential for a bullish trend to start here, for it to start trending up, is because it does seem to have bottomed out at around the 7,000 level. We've had 2 attempts for price to kind of break through and get below this level, and it's failed both times. This second time, it stayed down here for a while, but now it's just smashed back up through this resistance area, and it doesn't really look right now like it wants to fall back down. So could be looking at an uptrend. But that's pretty much the analysis for this week, guys. Bit of a long analysis, but I did have a lot to say this week. Thank you for watching. The new course is going to be out very soon. The free course on cryptos for noobs. It's going to be on the homepage. There's a few boxes on the homepage. If you visit them, if you visit the homepage, you'll see a few boxes. The middle box is going to have the new course. It's going to be an awesome course on trading cryptos, hosted by me. It's a good course, if I do say so myself. I've had a lot of feedback on it, and everyone's told me it's good. So it's not just me saying it's good because I think I'm amazing. It's actually, from what everyone has said, it's a good course. So do check it out. There's a lot of free tools in there. There's a free trading plan, a free risk management plan, and there's an awesome checklist app that you're gonna love. So yeah, check out the course. It's out soon. Just keep watching that homepage for the course. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for next week's analysis.